All right, what's good, everybody? Hopefully, y'all all doing well. Like, share, subscribe as y'all tap on in, and we definitely gonna talk about it. We definitely gonna talk about this and what happened with the father of Austin Metcalf, as he is not a happy guy. He is not a happy guy, right? And so, a lot of stuff's being spread about this case online. I'm happy that Carmelo Anthony has his legal team, new legal team, looking over this case. They'll find a lot of the mistakes in this case. There's a lot of lies being put on social media, a lot of misinformation from people who don't know what the hell they're talking about on both sides. And so, that's why the lawyers are in here. And I think that when the lawyers clear all of this stuff out, and now there's not going to be any excuse. He's got good black lawyers. So I think when his lawyers clear all of these internet lies up that's been put out here on both sides, I still think it's enough to get Carmelo Anthony a new trial. I think more than likely he'll have a new trial. I think he'll be hit with manslaughter, and I think he'll probably get from like 5 to 7 years in prison, if that's not the time he's already served by that time comes. And that's how I think he'll pan. I know a lot of people thinking acquittal is not, he's not going to be able to walk away in that situation. I think a lot of the lies that are being spread on social media about, he's been jumped, this, that, and the third. Carmelo Anthony's not even saying that. He never said that. Carmelo Anthony admitted to doing it. People are saying, it's another knife, another person. These are all lies. Carmelo Anthony admitted to the police that he did it. And if he didn't do it, he would have said, hey, man, somebody else did it. He told the cops right then and there he did it. There is no getting around to him, his parents. His spokesperson came out when, shout out to Neek at Night. She's been doing a great job. When she did an interview with the spokesperson, and she asked the spokesperson, did Karmelo get jumped? Karmelo's spokesperson, and he could not say he got jumped. Listen, I know everybody in the black community, this has caused a rift between the black community, where blacks, some feel some way, some feel another way. People are strongly about this case. Some people are just using this case to capitalize, off clicks and views. They'll never get any other views talking about nothing else, so they'll just talk about this every video. You know what I'm saying? If you notice that somebody don't get views talking about nothing else, but they talk about this every single video, and that's the only way they're getting views and subscribers, then you know what time it is. You know what I mean? Straight like that. You know what time it is. And I would question anybody. Well, I ain't even going to say, I'm not going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. But, just people with reasonable mindset, you know what I'm saying, will just to have common sense thinking. But I'm just going to say this to everybody, because I don't want to argue with people on my channel no more about this. I'm going to tell y'all this, right? And people say he's going to walk free. He's not going to walk free. That's not happening. He's not walking free. And the reason why he's not walking free is because it wasn't a situation where he was jumped. His new lawyers are going to get him a new trial, and I believe he's going to get hit with manslaughter and do minimum 5 to 7 years. And then he'll probably have the time he's already served by the time his appeal comes added in, and then he'll be out. You know what I'm saying? As far as a full acquittal, I would be 100% completely surprised if he got a full acquittal. I believe he will get a new trial. I believe he deserves a new trial. But I'm not no Looney Tune that's going to come out here and tell lies and tell all the black folks what they want to hear, or tell white folks what they want to hear just to impress them. No, I'm going to say what the truth is in front of me. I've always been taught, hey, man, just speak the truth, say what it is. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what colors you are. It doesn't matter about, man, you got to get this, got to get that. Nah, man, the truth is always going to set you free in life. And the one thing about the truth is going to keep you free. So all of this stuff people putting online, acting like they could this, they that, they ain't got no qualification. Them lawyers he got, they're going to clear out all this. Now, here's the thing. What's going to happen to these people when they get discredited, when Carmelo Anthony's lawyers come out with the real facts, which helps him get his case overturned? See, there are real situations. Like the Eddie dude, he's a liar. That's real, right? Said he wasn't the man's friend. That's real, right? There's other real things in this case. The jury selection, that's real, right? Those are real things. All this, it was 2 knives and this, that, and the third. That's a lie, bro. I seen of it. That's a lie. None of those people who said that, I promise you. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all this right now. You tell any of those people to put up their channels. Tell them to put up their whole channel if they got one. Put up their whole channel. I guarantee you when Carmelo Anthony gets his appeal, none of those people are in court. They won't even, these people won't even exist. What they're going to do is they're going to act like they never said these things they're saying now, telling lies, talking about what they seen, what they didn't see. That's why I'm happy he got new black lawyers who are great appellate lawyers. Because what they're going to do is they're going to find every single thing in this case that was really wrong, and they're going to bring it all to the forefront, and everybody's going to see the truth. Then when everybody sees the truth, and they see, hey man, you know what? Carmelo Anthony, he was assaulted, but he was assaulted by one person. He reacted. He didn't try to kill the guy. He didn't have intentions to kill the guy, but the guy ended up dying. He ended up hitting the guy in the wrong spot. The guy ended up dying. It's an unfortunate situation. R.I.P. to Austin Metcalf. It should have been a manslaughter, which means accidental death. That's like if you get in a fight and you hit somebody and you accidentally kill them. You didn't mean to. That's right down the lines of manslaughter. People are just acting wacky on the internet, going out of just acting crazy, man. I just can't do it. Real talk, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Everybody listen to this video. Say whatever you want to say right now. When his appellate lawyers come out and when they get all the real information, which is what they're doing right now, and when y'all see, when that boy gets a new trial, and y'all see everything that all these people online been telling y'all is damn near lies, what they going to say then, bro? What's the excuse going to be? By that time, they don't already got the subs. They don't already got the views. They don't already got the money, right? Think about that. I'm telling y'all what it is, right? So, again, man, I pray for the young brother. I want to see the young brother get another trial. I feel like he did get rarer. I feel like his lawyers did a bad job. I feel like they gave him bad defense. But I'm not going to come on YouTube and just have no honor whatsoever, no shame, and just come on here and just lie and act like I'm doing it in the name of this boy when you're doing it in the name of subscribers, views, and viewership. Because any of these people who doing it, think about it. Their highest viewed videos are talking about this. Anything else they talk about, don't nobody care about seeing. So they just keep talking about it, keep talking about it, keep talking about it, keep thinking of new ideas to talk about every single day, as long as they can grift and get as much money as they want off this. Right? Think about what I'm just saying. Think about what I'm saying. These are all facts. Now, the people who you see that get numbers and do numbers on this without that, that's something different. Excuse me, somebody said, Ticket, you said somebody dropped the bag, but they did a case pro bono. They're going to tell you they did the case pro bono, of course. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say now, yeah, the case is pro bono. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. In the climate that we're in, where they're canceling people, do you think anybody who did drop a bag that big for a defense team that big going to come out and tell you? No. The lawyer's doing what they supposed to do. They supposed to say, hey, man, it's pro bono. Man, got like 5, 6, 7 lawyers now. You think that they're going to be doing all the investigative work, all the time it's going to take to go into this appeal? Yeah, okay. Like I said, use your brains, man. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the person who did, salute to him. That's all I'm going to say. Because you can't let people know who you are. You know why? And that's a smart thing to do, because they've shut you down at every single avenue where Carmelo Anthony's they've tried to do something with Carmelo Anthony. So they shut him down at every single avenue. So, yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, it's pro bono, it's free. Now, that way, they can't make an excuse and say, oh, well, because I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. If they was to find out, if they was to come out and say, oh, so-and-so paid for our legal, the lawyer, you know what they're going to do? They're going to destroy whoever did it. Whoever the celebrity was that did it, they're going to destroy them. They're going to try and eradicate them from society. Mm-hmm. Exactly what's going to happen. They're going to try to eradicate them from society. Whoever, and I'm talking about, so again, you know, like I said, pro bono. We'll just roll with that. I don't have no problem rolling with pro bono. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem rolling with pro. That boy got 7 lawyers. It's a power team right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping real with y'all. Sometimes, like I said before, I just think at a different level. I don't think I'm better than nobody, but I know I think at a different level, right? I don't just want to come on here and say foolishness. But let's get to the video, man. So Jeff Metcalf, he come out here talking crazy now. That he is heated. Now, apparently, you guys, the girl Sunny from The View, Sunny Hostin, right, from The View, she don't went on The View, and she went off arguing that Carmelo Anthony getting sentenced to 35 years. You know, he was basically a victim of a biased justice system, right? She went off talking about the the jury selection, how the jury selection was effed up, which we all know that's true, right? And she basically advocated for the self-defense claim based on the footage, right? Which people are arguing about that footage, right? And I'm just telling y'all this, like, I want y'all to think about this. That's a big thing. So you've had like 7 or 8 people that come out and said they saw this so-called footage, right? Now, I want everybody to think about what I'm about to tell y'all. Carmelo Anthony has new lawyers. He has a new super black legal team. Let's see if any of his lawyers use any of these people who claim, the dude who's a sex offender, all these other dudes, the people who claimed that they saw this alleged video that nobody else was able to see, right? But they showed the black folks. They ain't showed the white folks. They showed the black folks, but then they hid it so nobody else could see it, right? Let's see if Carmelo Anthony's new appellate lawyers use them and call them as witnesses. Come on, man. Come on, man. You got a better chance at pissing in a Coke bottle. Come on, man. So, something like a lot of people just out here putting D's on this thing, man. And it just bothers me because this case don't need that. All you have to do is look at Carmelo Anthony's background. Look at him as a young man. He's not a troubled kid. He wasn't a kid that got in trouble. This is like the first time he ever got in trouble. And this is a situation. This should let you know right now. You know what I mean? It lets you know right now that the situation is messed up, right? So as I told you guys, listen, none of that stuff. His lawyer, listen, watch what I tell y'all. His lawyers are not going to come out here and say, hey, man, it was 2 knives. It was 2 knives. One of them got an M on it, y'all. Bro, this is crazy. Bro, this stuff is delusional crazy, bro. Hey, bro, I'm tripping, man. I'm just like, man, this stuff, bro, the ideas people are coming up with for new videos to talk about this Carmelo Anthony case is disgusting. It's disgusting, man. It really is, bro. None of this stuff is going to, listen, I'm telling y'all right now, none of this stuff is going to come up in court. What his lawyers are going to do is they're going to go off on that, or the jury selection, they're going to go off on the judge and some of the things the judge did and didn't do during the case, like change the venue. They're going to go off on the lawyer and things that his lawyer didn't do during the case, right? But as far as some tape nobody ever seen, don't you think, listen, I want y'all to think about this. Don't you think if 7 or 8 people say they saw this tape, don't you think Carmelo Anthony's new lawyers are going to have them on line 1? Carmelo Anthony's new lawyers are going to put them to the stand and submit them if that's the case. Oh, he going to put them on the stand and submit them? Right or wrong? Right or wrong? He going to put them on the stand and submit them? Easy. It's not going to happen, though. Why? Because they're lying. Right? And what's the word, y'all? Thou shalt not lie. Period. Right? Me personally, I think Carmelo Anthony got a raw deal. I think he should have been charged with manslaughter, and that's it. I know some people are saying, oh, full acquittal, man, thou shalt not kill. You know what I'm saying? And straight up, I know that's a situation everybody say, oh, it's self-defense, take self-defense. Man, listen, man. I'm telling you right now, if that's the case, then there'd be a lot of dead people walking around here, bro. Just based off of just everyday conflict. Now, do I like what happened to Carmelo? Hell no. You know, do I think Carmelo Anthony meant to unalive the dude? Hell no. You know, do I think Carmelo Anthony regret? Do I think he regret that the situation got to what it is? You damn right I do. You damn right I do. I think he regretted right now what happened. I think if Carmelo Anthony could change it, he'd make a whole different decision. But, you know, for people just to come out and lie is crazy. But anyways, Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, he is going in on The View. So since Sunny and them came out and said that, since she came out and said that, right? And, you know, he is heated. He went on Fox News, and it should let y'all know everything y'all need to know, right? He went on Fox News and went off on The View. And he wants to pull up on The View. This man want to pull up on them females, y'all. So he the autopsy, I saw the autopsy. The autopsy is what it is. I mean, I saw the photo. I saw the actual photo of Austin, and this shit is gruesome. It's bad. You know what I'm saying? It's right in the HEART. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad situation. You know, all the way through, man. You know, but it says the grieving father of teen Austin Metcalf blasted The View for defending his son's convicted unaliver. In his first television interview since the guilty verdict, Jeff Metcalf accused The View host Sunny Hostin and other commentators of spreading lies and mistruth without knowing the facts, right? So Austin, 17, was fatally at a track meet in Frisco, it says. Basically, it says Jeff said public figures have continued to push their own versions of the case despite the evidence presented at trial. People had their own opinions without even seeing the facts. And that's the part I have trouble with, he told Fox News host Will Kane on Monday, right? He says, unfortunately, in today's moral decay of society that we witness, people believe that if they have their own voice, they scream loud enough, they're right. Jeff was specifically asked about Hostin's claim on the episode of The View that the jury should have accepted Anthony's argument that he acted in self-defense, saying there seems to be a two system of justice in this country. He said the kid that died was 200 pounds. The kid, this kid was 130 pounds, and the other kid was taller than he is, Hostin said. Sunny Hostin from The View said. She said he was the only black kid under the tent, and the victim here had his twin brother with him, who was also a very large person. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if that's right. I don't know what she said was right when she said that he was the only black person in the tent. I wouldn't say that because you can't really tell what color those people are under that tent. You can't really tell what color everybody is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure about that. I won't make up no lie and say something I don't know. You know, maybe she knows something I don't know. I don't know that. But she argued that Carmelo Anthony did not have a jury of his peers, and I agree with that. Like, bro, you strike off all three black jurors. They knew what they was doing, man. Let's just keep it 100, bro. They knew what they was doing. They took those three black jurors off. They knew what they was doing, dog. They knew what they was doing, man. They knew they was going, because they didn't want to take no chance at a hung jury, because a hung jury, it might get moved out of that jurisdiction. So they wanted to make sure they got him good. And I'm going to tell you something. I believe Austin Metcalf's out here, his father's out here doing interviews because he's nervous about that appeal. And you better listen to what I told y'all. The media is going to do all their research to try to find out if anybody's behind the new defense team. Because see, I'm going to tell y'all something. When this is the type of case, they counted on nobody willing to risk their careers as far as a celebrity standard to step up on this type of business. They didn't think nobody was going to risk their careers to stand up on this, because real talk, people put their careers on the line for stuff like this. Like, you speak out on something like this, bro, that could be your career on the line, right? Because, you know, your boss, he may agree with Austin Metcalf's side, and he may not like what you say, and he may X you out, you know, or that music executive that you signed to, this, that, or the third. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different things like that, you know, people can see, you know, coming up from this case, man. And I'm trying to tell people to really look at these things and look at how all this stuff is playing out, right? So, you know, I think that it is smart for the pro bono thing to be put out there, because real talk, if you just came out and put your name straight up behind this, they're going to try and do you worse than they did Kanye West. Right? like real talk. You know what I'm saying? So somebody had to do this quiet though. You feel me? But I want to say this, right? I want to say this, right? So, anyways, he said, meaning Austin Metcalf's daddy, Jeff Metcalf. And listen, as I told y'all, I think Jeff Metcalf is all over the news because I think he knows what time it is. I think Jeff Metcalf know that appeal's coming. He know. And I'm guaranteeing you he is ticked because they probably didn't think that this boy was going to be able to get this type of appeal team together because of the money. Remember, when they shut down his donation funds, that kind of destroyed everything because, check it out, y'all. If somebody else creates a donation fund for Carmelo Anthony, now what's going to happen? You're going to have the feds on your ass trying to see what happened to every bit of that money. Right? Bro, so that's why everybody was getting shut down. Anybody tried to, they got the feds on your ass to make sure. Okay, so because you can do it, but they're going to be checking every dollar and every cent to see what happens with that bread that was donated. That's how they operate. And in a case like this, you better believe they're going to try and shut this thing down from every single angle possible if somebody wasn't doing the thing legally 100%. So this is a very sticky and tricky situation that we're all looking at. But and y'all smash the like button. But the article goes on to say that the daddy saw things differently than the girl on The View. He says, they don't know me. They don't know Hunter, Austin. They don't know Karmelo, he replied. They're looking at 15 minutes of fame for their clickbait, right? And here's the thing. His dad is right. We don't know none of them. But you know what we do know? You know what we do know? We know Hunter didn't get his ass on that stand and testify. You know what we do know? That Hunter Metcalf admitted that your son put hands on Karmelo and assaulted him first. We do know that. We do know that. And you know what else we do know, Jeff Metcalf? We do know that Carmelo Anthony's a 3.7 GPA student who never been in trouble, never had any kind of history of being in trouble, and his overall reference as a good kid. We know all that, sir. So that's what we do. Those are the facts that we do know, right? Right? You know what else we know, Jeff Metcalf? We know that he didn't go to the tent with the intention on unaliving your son. You know why? He didn't know your son. How could he plan to do something to your son if he didn't know your son? He didn't know any of your sons. So, Jeff Metcalf, how can somebody plan to do something to your son if they don't know your son? You have to make it make sense, man. Jeff Metcalf, I'm going to say it to you again, big dog. How can someone do something to your son if they, how can they plan on doing something to your son if they didn't know your son, sir? So all those things, we don't even need to know either side to know this is true. Right? How could they know, dog? You got to answer. That's a question you got to answer, bro. See, you ain't answering that question. How was he, and Jeff Metcalf, since you're doing interviews, I would invite you to come up here and do an interview with me and answer that question. Since you're looking at all these networks, all these channels, and you're doing interviews, I would invite you to come up here. I would invite you to come up here. Because I would want to know, your son, shout out my boy James in the building, your son, and I haven't heard you say one time about your son assaulting this other guy first. You guys have not taken any responsibility to say, hey, man, our son shouldn't have did what he did. Right? Now, I'm saying, thou shalt not kill. I'm saying that. Right? But are you saying that my son was wrong for trying to be the police when he ain't got no badge and he ain't got no license? We need Jeff Metcalf to answer that question. Because your son thought he was the cops. And that's not how it goes. You can't patrol somebody else and you're not the police. Especially when they own public property. So we need to know the answer to that. Notice that. I want y'all to notice that. Notice how he's never taken responsibility and said his son should not have did what he did to go and assault a person. They're excusing their son breaking the law. That's against the law to assault her. It's not against the law to ask Carmelo Anthony to leave. That's not against the law. You can ask him to leave public property. That's not illegal. But it's illegal to put your hands on him. That's illegal. The way your son pushed that man in that video, that is illegal. That's illegal. Point blank, period. That's illegal. Right? So at the end of the day, both sides were wrong. But your son tried to enforce police tactics, and he's not the cops. He's not a teacher. He's a student, right? And he don't own that property. That's public property, man. Your son don't own that property. So why was your son acting like Billy Badass out there and put his hands on somebody? And again, I'm not condoning your son not having his life, because I don't condone kids not being here. I'm not a savage like some of these people on the internet are that's walking around acting like they don't care. Because that comes back to you. You know what I'm saying? God always have a way of putting that back on you when you run around here talking crazy. That's why I don't talk like that. You never hear me coming here talking that crazy talk. Some of these people be talking in the comments. I don't care. I hope he. Nah, I ain't with that. Your boy don't move like that. I got a different spirit, man. I don't move like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You play with the man upstairs like that, man, and it can get real ugly for you. And that's facts. So I don't play that game. You know what I mean? But I'm very bothered. I'm very bothered by the fact that he will not admit that his son hold on, you guys. His son did something he ain't supposed to do. That's not what he's supposed to do, man. That's not what he's supposed to do, bro. Right? That's not what he's supposed to do. Right? So I'm not cool with that. Right? And I hope and pray, man, that we all can get to a point where it ain't like that, bro. But y'all pushing the line out here, man. And y'all acting like that there was nothing wrong done on both sides. Right? He says they're looking to monetize this death of his son. I really wish they wouldn't speak about it at all. Bro, you say you wish they wouldn't speak about it. Jeff, you came out, went on a racist rant. You said they're monetizing. You're going on national TV, man. And I'm not saying that's monetizing it, but you're literally doing interviews, dog. Right? If you ain't want nobody talking about it, wouldn't you not be doing interviews, Jeff? Let's just keep it 100, bro. If you really didn't want nobody to talk about it, you would have just faded to black. No, you don't want nobody to talk about it who don't agree with you. Because you're not mad at Fox News and these people for talking about it, because they're holding down your talking point. But you mad with other people. You mad with other people, dog. For what? For what, Playboy? What you mad about? Come on, dog. What's up with that? What's up with that, dog? So I ain't cool with that. So he gonna say that, but like I said before, right? Come on, man. He says she is completely wrong. And he says monetize. Bro, she gonna get paid either way, whether she talk about that case or not. She ain't getting paid more money to talk about that. She gonna get the same salary she getting, whether she talk about that case or not, Jeff. It's something big. So everybody's talking about it, dog. Right? Everybody's talking about it, dog. Period. Right? Let's keep going. So it says he then challenged the ABC show to talk to him or to invite him on the panel so he could talk to him. He said, call me, ask me to be on the View with him. He said, I would gladly fly. He said, I would gladly fly me up there and let me talk to all of you. He says he wants them to fly you up. So you're complaining about them, but then you're saying, nah, fly me up there and I'll go talk to you. Like, come on, bro. You said, do you want to talk about it? You don't want to talk about it. Like I said, you only want people that agree with your side to have their opinion. That's what it seems like, brother. But if the people don't agree with you, they can't have their opinion. If the people say, hey, man, something wasn't right about that jury, bro, they can't have their opinion. And I understand why he's mad. He lost his son. And RIP to his son. I don't wish that on nobody. But, bro, you can't, bro, like I said, you know. And you know what? Since he said that, I hope those ladies do ask you to come up there. Right? And I hope she say what she say right to you. Right? It says, Jeff said newly released footage from the confrontation should help correct misinformation spread by his trial. The video shows Anthony confronting Austin inside a team tent, and no. The video shows your son pushing Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony reacting and then running up out that tent. And then it showed Carmelo Anthony caring about your son in the immediate aftermath, wanting to know if he was okay. Not acting like some menace who wanted your son to not be here alive. He didn't do that. He didn't act like that, right? He didn't act like that. And then the way I heard you talk to him at the trial, they say you told him, look at me, man, bro. Don't you know the racial undertones? I say this right to Jeff's face. Don't you know the racial undertones? You telling somebody, look at you, look at your face, and you and your son allegedly saying that in the court during the what you call it, the sentencing period. Come on, man. Right? So again, I'm just saying that one more time, man. That's so it says the body cam footage also captured him correcting an officer saying that, you know, he wasn't the alleged suspect, that he did it. And I told people this. People trying to say this is what I told y'all, man. Listen, let me tell everybody something. People on the internet are acting crazy. They're literally acting like Carmelo Anthony didn't admit to this on tape. But bro, we're not saying he didn't admit it. I'm saying that he did not intend to unalive that man. People were saying, oh, no, it's 2 knives, man. I'm telling you, man, ain't that, man. And now people are saying, first it was, oh, it wasn't no blood on the knife. Second was, it wasn't no knife. It was a cleaning tool. Now it's, oh, it was 2 knives. Now it's, oh, well, somebody else did it. It wasn't even him. It was somebody else. Man, I said, man, these people, bro, this is insane. And then you got a lot of people on the internet like, yeah, that's right. That's right, girl. I'm like, what in the world is going, I just, like, real talk, I can't believe that this is going on in our community, bro. I cannot believe that, bro. For the life of me, bro. I said, yo, this is insane that this is going on. Unbelievable, man. Unfreaking believable, bro. But if I was them, I'll be his Huckleberry. I'll have him right up there. And you know what? If you probably gonna have him up there. Right? And it says that in another clip, Anthony appeared to sob as he was escorted away from the track. He said he put his hands on me. I told him not to do it. He put his hands on me. Right? So once again, you know what I mean? You know, black folks are upset, and they got a right to be upset. Bro, let me tell you something, man. You see all this stuff going on, man. Like I said, we could just stay right with George Zimmerman. And see, I call out the hypocrisy, because see, if I was to talk to Jeff Metcalf, I would ask Jeff Metcalf, Jeff, what was your thoughts on George Zimmerman? I would shut Jeff Metcalf down. And to the person who says you can't defend yourself, you can, but it has to be lethal force. It can't be, like, for example, somebody comes to your house and tries to, you know what I'm saying, assault you or do something in your house, it stands your ground, right? And if they try to retreat and you do something, then that's not stand your ground. So it's like, it's different rules, right? To limits. You got to understand the law, right? So the law of Texas, like, let me show everybody this. I want to show everybody this, right? Because I think it's very important that people understand this, because I don't think people really understand the law in Texas, right? They just know stand your ground, right? right? So when we talk about this, right, we'll talk about hold on one second, y'all. Right, I'm gonna put this on the screen for y'all. Right, I'm gonna hold on. Now, right? Here's what's gonna happen. Here's the path that Carmelo Anthony has. And I'm gonna tell y'all what his lawyer's gonna say. I want everybody to listen to what I'm gonna tell y'all. His lawyers are gonna push for self-defense. Here is what the problem is gonna be. They're not going to have a videotape like all these people lying about, right? That shows that people just got up and surrounded him because they were sitting down under the tent. So all those people were kind of sitting in front of him and he was sitting behind them. That's how he got the tent so fast. He was sitting like on the back line, right? But his lawyers are going to try to push. And this is what I think this strategy is going to be. That, yeah, one person pushed him, but he was surrounded in fear what could happen next. See, now under that is reasonable. But people ain't saying that. They lying. They saying, oh, he got jumped. He got beat down. Man, he ain't want nobody time enough to get beat down like that. See, you'll have more reason in your thought process. I want y'all to think about this. Because in the state of Texas, you guys, and I want everybody to think about what I'm about to tell y'all right now. You can look all this up. You don't have to ask me. Just look it up. Just look it up, right? You can go right to what? Texas Penal Code 9.32. It's right there in Texas Penal Code 9.32. Go read it up. So, no, not 9.32. Excuse me. It's 9.31. Excuse me. Texas Penal Code 9.31. My bad. Texas Penal Code 9.31 says you cannot legally stab somebody if they push you. But, see, here's the difference. And this is what I think people got to understand. This is why Carmelo Anthony needed to testify. Because Carmelo Anthony needed to testify, and he needed to tell the jury what he was thinking. Being, bro, I acted the way I did because, yes, one person pushed me, and he pushed me hard. But I was in fear of what I thought was going to happen after that because a lot of their team was around me. And I felt like I could have been jumped. That instant situation, I felt like they could have jumped on me if I didn't instantly defend myself. I would have got did dirty because when somebody pushes you, the next thing they probably do is going to punch you and then pack you out. Right? That's the defense you use. That way, that falls under the law. And this is what I'm telling y'all. Everybody mark my words when I tell y'all. This is what his lawyers are going to use in their appeal. Because the good thing about his appeal is he didn't take the stand in the first trial. Right? So he'll have so once again, I want to say this to y'all again, right? So in Texas, if somebody comes up to you and pushes you, you can't stab them. That's not stand your ground. Right? So stabbing somebody is considered use of deadly force under Texas law because it's capable of causing death or seriously bodily injury. Now, Texas self-defense laws, it's strictly required that your response must be proportionate to the threat you face, right? Now, check it out. While Texas is a stand your ground state, you guys, meaning that you have no duty to retreat if you're legally allowed to be there and are not committing a crime, the law does not grant a free pass to escalate a physical altercation, right? That's the law. You guys can look this up. It's right in Texas law. Now, here's force versus deadly force. Right? And that's why I told y'all, go look up Texas Penal Code 931, right? 9.31. It says that you can use non-deadly force like pushing back or punching to protect yourself from someone else's unlawful force, right? Now, the deadly force is allowed, you go to 9.32, right? You're only justified in using deadly force like a knife or a gun if you reasonably believe it is immediately necessary to protect yourself against someone else's use of deadly force or to prevent an imminent murder, sexual assault, robbery, or kidnapping, right? Now, watch this. So a push, here's the reason why it doesn't justify straight up use of deadly force. A standard shove or a push is an assault, but it's not inherently a deadly threat. Meeting a non-deadly push with a potential lethal stabbing is an illegal escalation. That's against the law in Texas. I'm giving you Texas law. So basically, the reasonable person standard would say to successfully claim self-defense after poking somebody, you must, and I'm going to say it again, right? You must prove that a reasonable person in your exact shoes would have believed that they were in imminent danger of death or serious bodily injury. And if the other person only pushed you and did not display a weapon or severely beat you, the standard is not met. So they had to severely beat you. People were trying to say he got severely beaten. He never even said that. They didn't even show you that in the cam. They didn't even ask him, yo, you okay? You got hit in the face. What's going on? There's none of that, bro. I'm telling y'all finna see this, right? Here's the point they can take. And I want y'all to understand this. And this is what his lawyers are going to argue. Forget everything else. I just want everybody to come back when y'all find out what his lawyers say and tell me I ain't 100% on point. If I'm wrong, I'll let y'all come in here and rank on me all day. But I know I ain't going to be wrong. Here's where stabbing somebody is potentially legally justified, right? If you're surrounded by multiple people who are bigger than you, the legal landscape shifts from a simple one-on-one altercation to a situation that's known as desperate or disparate, right? Right? Disparate force, or what they call a multiple assault threat. So you got like multiple people that's getting ready to come up on you and attack you, right? Now let me say this to y'all, Texas Penal Code 932, the use of deadly force turns entirely on the reasonable belief of imminent severe harm. Right? So, disparate force, right? That is, ladies and gentlemen, where the Texas courts are recognizing that the physical disparity, such as being vastly outnumbered or facing much larger individuals, can turn what would normally be non-deadly force into a deadly threat. Now, the reasonable person test, like basically a reasonable person in your exact position would basically believe that the push was the beginning of a mob attack that would result in you being severely beaten or killed. The use of deadly force may be considered a proportionate response, right? And you have no duty to retreat. So you're not legally required to run away, break through the crowd before defending yourself, provided you are somewhere you have a right to be and you did not provoke the confrontation. Now, here's the problem. In the appeal, they're going to attack that, oh, he didn't have a right to be in that tent. I'm going to tell you why. They're going to find out if any other school was in that tent. If they had any other students from any other school in that tent, they're done. Because how can you say their argument was we don't want any other schools in our tent. Only our school could be there because of our bags and shit like that. Okay, so if somebody else was there from a different school under that tent, because in the witness list, there were other people who witnesses that were from other schools. So I want to know, were they under that tent too? The first thing I want to find out is any other school member was underneath that tent. If they're under that tent, their case is done. Because that means the whole crutch of their case is that, oh, nobody else is supposed to be on our tent. But they still can't control that because that's public property. So it doesn't matter if Karmelo's under your tent. You don't own that property. That is public property. And Carmelo Anthony legally, while he might not have in your school rules, right, or your little school, little whatever you want to call it, shouldn't have been under your tent, he legally, right, had a right to be wherever he wanted to be over there. These are facts. He legally had a right to be there, right, on public property. Check it out. What you did was you didn't legally have a right to put your hands on them and push them from under that tent, right? So that's where the legality comes in, ladies and gentlemen. We're just talking outright basic law, okay? Right? You see what I'm saying? So as I look at this situation, man, I look at that, right? And then I look at the fact that Karmelo should have testified because Karmelo could have told them, look, I'm going to tell y'all something. I was already being screamed on by 2 dudes, 3 dudes. They were talking shit to me. So when he stood up over me and pushed me down, and I was already sitting down. This nigga tried to push me out the tent damn near. I'm thinking they're gonna jump on my ass up here. That's a whole different situation. But see, here's the thing. You don't want to lie and say, yeah, they banged me, they did all this, because then people going to just snuff out that lie, and then you just going to go to prison. But if he says, which I think their defense is going to be, bro, when he pushed me, it was more people that was with him. I was just by myself. So I felt like, hey, man, they get ready to jump on my ass. Normally, what happens after you push somebody? Here comes the punch. Here comes the pack out, right? So that is the way I think their lawyers going to attack this appeal. Watch what I tell y'all this. Not all this mumbo jumbo shit all these other people talking about. But, prayers is up for all parties involved, man. I don't want to see this type of stuff. Jeff Metcalf is out here going off. He want to pull up on the View now, pull up on the girl on the View. And I'm just like, man, bro. He went to the interview on Fox News out here going off. And I'm just like, man, bro. Talking about it wasn't about race, even though he went on a racist rant. Think about this, right? Think about what I just said to y'all, right? Right? You sat up there and called him a watermelon felon. You sat up there and went on a racist rant, right? But you want to sit up here and talk about it's not about race. Fool, it's all about race. You came out and went on a straight racist rant, right? So how is it not about race, but you went on a racist rant? Yeah, we'll wait for it. We'll wait for that. Y'all let me know what y'all feel on this, man. Salute to everybody in the chat room, man. Salute to all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, and subscribe as y'all come on in the building. Appreciate all of y'all, man. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about this, man. Salute to all of y'all. Blessings, man. Jeff Metcalf. He wants smoke. He wants smoke with them girls on the View right there. He want to pull up on the View. He ain't happy about this. So y'all let me know what y'all feel on this, man. Salute to everybody. Blessings to everybody in the chat, man. Hope y'all doing great. Hope y'all have a great afternoon, or a great morning, or a great night, wherever y'all at. Peace. We always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out